morning, everybody, and welcome to the morning routine. It is Friday. Yes, it is Friday, October the 13th, 2017. So glad to see you here this morning. Episode number 195 of the morning routine. And once again, we have made it to Friday. I can't get past that. So very exciting that we've made it here. And man, I tell you what, I slept like a rock last night until about an hour ago. And an hour ago, I woke up and I could not fall asleep. I'm just laying there. I'm looking out my window. The sky was starting to get lit just a little bit. There was one star that was so bright. And I was just watching that. And I'm laying there and I'm like, man, I cannot fall back asleep. I'm going to waste this hour of sleep time. And then I went into deep sleep, a coma-like sleep, which I woke from about 3.5 minutes ago. So there you have it then. Cheers, guys, right? Nothing like I woke up late panic to set you straight in the morning, right? I'm telling you, it's like a feeling that is like there's no other feeling like it. So, but I hope everybody's week is going well. My hair is sticking up all over the place. What a great morning. But I hope everybody's week is going well, and I hope you have big plans for Friday. I have an exciting day today, guys. I cannot tell you how excited I am for this evening. Big things happening in the Kongvold house this evening. So to set it off, my daughter Annika has been voted to be part of the homecoming court at tonight's homecoming game. She's a senior in school, and this for me is a huge deal. And I think it's bigger than just being voted into there. I think this is a big deal because it is it's an example of the strength that God can give us when we call upon it. Now, why would I say that? That doesn't even make sense. Some of you might say, what's the connection? The connection is very simple as this. Is last year, a year ago next week, of course, Annika's brother, our son, one of them, passed away, Evan. And last year, Annika stayed home for the rest of the year and did her school online and at home, and she did exceptionally well. And this year, she said, it's my senior year. I think I want to go back to school for my senior year because I don't want to miss the senior year experience. So she went back, unsure of how it would go. It was going to be a little bit uncomfortable. She hadn't been there in a long time. There's a lot of, different things attached to that are hard to explain. But anyways, and she went. And it's been going great. And I think for me, just her opportunity getting to do this is like, man, you know what? She has been calling on the strength that God would provide to her, trusting that He would guide her along the way and take care of her. And she has focused her perspectives, her favorite word, by the way. And here she is, and getting to have such a great, exciting experience. So it's very cool. And to add it, of course, our number 2 son, Mr. B, is going to be in town to walk her onto the field, which makes it even more amazing. So today is a super, super day. So I hope your day is going to be filled with as many exciting things as ours is. I'm very cranked up. So let's jump in, guys. I've got some stories lined up for you here this morning. Some real simple ones. Nothing overly although this one is really cool. I mean, they're all neat, but so let's just jump in. So first little snippet for you. General Motors, GM, one of the biggest car makers in the world, okay? Huge car maker, has announced that they are going to be going all electric, zero emissions. They're saying hopefully by the year 2023. By then they'll have 18 different models out. So if you're starting to look and think like it's time to change my car, I'm telling you, man, it's not far in the future. It's very, very nearby when there's going to be a lot of electric options that are going to save you a lot of money when it comes to fuel and things like that. In recent months, Volvo, Aston Martin, Jaguar, Land Rover have all announced going all electric and getting rid of fossil fuel burning cars. The GM is one of the largest automakers on the planet. They sold 10 million cars last year, which is amazing to me. France, Great Britain, Netherlands, Norway have all said that they're going to be banning fossil fuel burning cars. China and India are about to join them. So this is a big deal. This summer, I didn't know this, but this past summer, GM started selling a 2-seater electric car in China for $5,300. $5,300. Why don't they bring that to the U.S.? $5,300, you could buy a 2-seater electric car in China, sold by GM. In China, by the way, they sold 3.6 million cars. In the U.S., 3 million cars. They sell more cars overseas in China than they do in the U.S. Quite amazing. So, but that's a big deal. I read a little snippet of an article yesterday that because of everybody's getting away from fossil fuels, that the coal-fired power plants and the coal mining industry are going to be paying a huge price for that as we move away from our dependence on those. And I guess there's a big deal. So the government's talking about trying to... Anyways, that's a whole nother story. This story right here, this number 2 story, guys. I'm going to highly recommend that when we are done, you go to freedomconvo.com, morning show link, and read this article in its entirety. We do not have time to share the whole article. This is a super interesting article. The title of the article is "For Decades, New York's Chinatown Duped Slum Tourists with Faked Danger and Depravity. Depravity? How do you say that? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But isn't that intriguing? Listen to this. The slums of early 20th century New York were, to a certain white upper-class clientele, exotic, foreign, and even exhilarating. In Chinatown, gunfire might spontaneously break out between rival gangs. The visitors might sit down to dine on authentic chop suey, among people speaking an unfamiliar tongue. They might see white women lounging in seedy opium dens with Chinese men. They might leave convinced that they had seen one of the world's wickedest spots. Slumming is a tourist practice. Slumming. Slumming is a tourist practice that made its way to the United States from the United Kingdom sometime in the 1880s. This was a thing when wealthier people would actually go to the worst neighborhoods that they could find, and they would go slumming as a something to do. Like, hey, what do you want to do? There's bowling. We can go to the escape room. Let's go hang out in a slum. Like, that would be cool. Like, we could see some cool stuff. Seriously, this was like a major thing. Sometimes guided groups swept through Harlem or the Lower East Side and flung open the front doors of unsuspecting residents. Wealthy observers saw what was to them almost incomprehensible poverty. But it was entertainment. This is the craziest thing. Now, this is when it gets, interesting. Much of what they saw was indeed representative of the ordinary lives of the people who lived in these areas. But in slumming, some saw an opportunity. A homegrown industry quickly arose to give the gawkers something to gawk at and to keep them spending money. Affluent slummers often employed guides or joined organized groups, industrious young men, independent slumming guides, capitalized on crowds by introducing them to brothels or saloons that were accustomed to hosting slummers. Is this amazing or what? This is insane. Tours to the Chinese restaurant, the popular Chinese theater, the Mott Street Joss House or Temple, and what slummers believed to be an opium den, where wide-eyed Chinese people lolled around, seemingly stoned out of their minds. Visitors could hardly believe their eyes, and they would have been right not to. These places were entirely staged, with actors employed to give viewers something to look at. This is amazing. Isn't that crazy? So it's kind of interesting because that means that the reputation that Chinatown had for a long time was actually not accurate. Isn't that amazing? They said in this article, where was it here? It said there was little actual danger. After an undercover study in the late 1910s, an investigative reporter said that the sham and fake in the village for the benefit of the uptown slumber crowd was about as dangerous as Sunday school on a Sunday. There you go. So, but great article there. Interesting story. A little bit of history of Chinatown and its reputation and how it really isn't real. One last story to share with you real quick. Not going to spend a lot of time on it. The Secrets of Disneyland. A company vet explains how the magic happens. How does Disneyland manage to make everything feel so effortlessly magical? 1, tell the story and stick to it. And you could take these stories, and if you have a business or even yourself, all of us have a story to tell. All of us. So kind of take these and compare them to your business or your job or yourself, okay? Tell the story and stick to it. Everyone and every brand is telling a story. The core essence never changes. What is your story? Interesting. Provide a complete experience, aromas included. The stuffy, misty attic air of the Haunted Mansion or the leathery dampness of the Pirates of the Caribbean was with just a hint of gunpowder and sea salt. All comes from a scent-emitting machine known as the Smellitzer, which was patented by Bob McCarthy. It produces all those smells, the Smellitzer. So you need a Smellitzer for your story. So when you walk into a room, you just bring your Smellitzer with you. Next, cater to your audience, which is obvious, right? Identify your deal breakers. Interesting. Before launching Disney Cruise Lines, company executives debated the inclusion of casinos, a favorite pastime for ocean travelers. The fear was that gambling would tarnish Disney's family-friendly image. We sat through meetings, debates, analysis, expert opinion presentations. Despite the potential earnings of casinos, Disney Cruise Lines ultimately decided to forego the lucrative opportunity. It thought it had more to lose than to gain because they were protecting their image. Never let them see you make the magic. As you know, Disney is the best at hiding where the magic actually happens in their underground utilidors. So interesting article as well if you want to go to the show links and read that one. But the big one is that one in Chinatown. That is a fascinating story. So let's jump on over, guys. Let's see what's trending. The top 10 most searched things yesterday on Google were, number 1, the Eagles. The Eagles won last night. How do you like that? Monday night or Thursday Night Football. Number 2, Ezekiel Elliott, a football player for the Cowboys. Number 3, Happy Death Day. That's a weird kind of a day. Number 4, Bitcoin. Big money there, guys. Number 5, UNESCO. Number 6, The Foreigner, a movie. Number 7, Friday the 13th. Hey, it is Friday the 13th. Wow, look at that. Number 8, Drake, the singer. Number 9, Kate Beckinsale. Number 10, Yellowstone supervolcano eruption. Yellowstone supervolcano might erupt soon. Interesting. All right. Well, there's your top 10 most searched things on Google. Let's see what's trending on the news this morning. Top of the list, UNESCO. U.S. to pull out of UNESCO over concerns over anti-Israel bias. After that, we have Isaiah Thomas. Ainge, A-I-N-G-E, it's a guy, responds to Thomas' comments. You guys know how much I love Isaiah. Okay. Roy Price, Amazon Studios chief suspended after sexual harassment claims. I have a feeling that this whole story going on with this guy out in California is going to kind of ripple effect through many, many things, because now is a time, if somebody has been harassed, that it's easier to bring it out now than when you're the forefront of what's going on. So I have a thing. This is going to just keep rippling. Next, Pokemon Go. Wow, I forgot about that. It was like a rage for a while. Russian-linked campaign used Pokemon Go to meddle in election. They used Pokemon Go to meddle in the election? How do you do that? Wow. All right. Next, we have Affordable Care Act. Trump ends health care cost share subsidies. Then we have Yellowstone caldera. Yellowstone supervolcano could blow faster than thought, destroy all of mankind. There's something to look forward to tomorrow. Next, we have Sapienza University of Rome. Italian dog owner wins sick pay for looking after pet. Next, we have Northern California. California fires are destroying marijuana farms. I hope those firefighters brought lots of snacks. They might get hungry. And that is the last trending story for today. Let's go on over, guys. Let's get ourselves a passage of wisdom and see what's happening here today. Here we go. So today, this is a good one. It's another psalm, if you can believe it, man. We are like on a psalm roll here. Today's passage of wisdom, guys, is Psalm chapter 56, verses 3 and 4. When I am afraid, I put my trust in you, in God, whose word I praise. In God I trust and am not afraid. Such a simple passage, but not the easiest passage to actually apply in every moment of your life. Right? When I am afraid, I put my trust in you. In God I trust and am not afraid. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. It's not hard. It's very easy that when you are afraid and you have fear, it's easy to call on God. I think the rub comes when, are we calling on God or are we 100% putting our trust in God? I believe that those are two separate things. Calling on God in times of need comes very easy. Even people who don't believe in God do that very easily, right? If they find out the Titanic ship is going down and they never believed in God ever and actually rejected God and told people who believed in God that they thought they were silly maybe, at that moment, a lot of them are going to be like, hey, God, I need you. Where are you at? Are you real? If you're real, we can all call on God easily, but trust in God. When I'm afraid, I put my trust in you, in God whose word I praise. In God I trust and am not afraid. Good challenge for today. Let's pray and let's get this day started. Father, good morning. Father, thank you for today, this Friday the 13th. Father, I want to thank you right now for all of the blessings that you've put into all of our lives. Right now, no matter who is here on the morning routine listening, we can all think of things that are tough in our lives, but we can all think of the blessings that you have put into our life as well. We thank you for those. What a gift. Father, we thank you for your word this morning, your encouragement to really trust in you in the times when we're scared, when we have fear, when we need something stronger than ourselves to prop us up. Thank you for being there, unwavering, always there, consistent, never turning your back on us. You are always there for us to call on and to trust in and to know that you will show up. Thank you for this reminder this morning. What a great passage. Father, be with us today as this Friday goes on and into the weekend, as we go and have time to spend some time with family and friends, or our hobbies, or our whatever it is that we like to do with our time when we're not working hard. Be with us, keep us safe, help us be productive, help us to be a game changer and to make an impact in wherever we go. Father, I want to thank you again for the unique experience that you're giving my daughter this evening. May the people tonight see that as a picture of your strength, that you have held her up and kept her strong with a smile on her face and a love for others. I hope that I pray that people see that and not just an 18-year-old young lady standing on the field. I'm so thankful. Be with us today, and we love you so much. Amen. Friends, that's a magnificent wrap. So glad that you were here today on this Friday. I hope you have a magnificent weekend. And until Monday morning on the morning routine, when we get together once again, don't forget to be exactly who you were meant to be. I love you guys. Have a great weekend.